rescheduling. I ain't realized.
Rescheduling what? What are we?
No, but I didn't realize
it
didn't say that was from the 12th.
We call this reading is fundamental.
No, it's been a day.
I already saw it.
Hooked on phonics work for me.
You know what's crazy about that? I had a person who reports to me in a workspace and said, "Hey, I sent emails out." This person responded. No one really looks at that email.
No.
And my response, in my head, my non-HR response was, "What the fuck are you here? Like, what do you mean you don't read your email? Do you see my email? I just got off a Teams call." But my HR mouth came out. I was like, "I understand. Most of us communicate across text. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print out everything that I said in the email." So I actually printed out the email that I sent and handed it to said person.
So what that means is Earl was playing Xbox and was like, "Oh, we got a show tonight."
That's how we do. That's how we do. Oh, this is gonna be a fun night.
Start that thing on up.
Let's go. You're listening to the Hot Seed Podcast.
Seed.
Welcome all. I'm Sean, along with my co-host Earl.
Good day.
Dave.
Modesty. Yes, sir.
And you guys know what it is. We're just dads with mics, gamers with headsets, and a whole lot of unfiltered conversation. And as always, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seed Podcast. Make sure you be sure to listen, like, rate, review, share, and most importantly, enjoy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows. And if you want to see our wonderful, beautiful faces, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube at the Hot Seed Podcast. And of course, we are powered by who Earl? Who? That ain't what I wanted, man. That ain't what.
Don't ask Earl no
powered by DUBBY.
No, it's been a day, yo.
I'll
tell you when you ask me how I feel. I'll tell you.
Nah, I don't even want to know how you feel right now.
Because I need to unpack this.
Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to recognize that we have a 4-box situation going on here. We have a wonderful guest tonight, Ivori Marie of Ivori Marie Fitness with 2 T's that I saw on IG. We got all
that in for like one syllable. My God,
yeah, he did. Because he went to IGTC. I
was like, God,
hey, look, hey.
I remember.
Joke if you want. I got a 1250 on my SAT. Right now, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you.
That means that test don't mean nothing. Thanks.
So, it really don't.
I'm cracking up.
I don't like your attitude, but welcome, Ivori.
Hi.
That's not what I wanted to do. What's the applause at? There we go.
I was trying to do it myself. I was filling in.
Welcome. Episode 174.
We are old.
We are old. It's 5 years in, 174 podcast episodes, but we know there's many more.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, gentlemen, how you feeling, Dave? Storyteller. I'll get the Earl later.
Yeah, ask me because I feel like he's about to give a dissertation.
You don't even go to work, bro. So you should have been great.
Who are we talking to? Because I was at work today.
I ain't talking about
what you talking about. I'm in the same workspace that I would be in.
Tommy over here, they ain't got no job.
Hey, don't hate on remote workers, baby. I'm always on time. Spit on time.
Ain't nothing wrong. Hey, look, ain't nothing wrong with a little remote working. Ain't nothing wrong with my remote working.
I update y'all on the news every day.
Yeah, you do.
I'm remote working right now, Earl. What you got to say?
Horrible.
Keep on.
I feel like Earl needs the vent. I feel like we better have a vent.
This has been a long day. Go ahead, though. How was your day,
What you got, Dave?
Nah, my day was good. We prepared for this storm down here, so They don't know what's coming. They don't know if it's 6 inches. They don't know if it's 18. They just know it's going to snow. So
that's real.
Hey, look.
Just remember, 6 inches down here is like 1.5 feet up there because they don't know how to clear snow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ivory. Look, hey.
Where are you from?
Don't be surprised if it's 18 inches. I'm just saying.
So right now, I'm up here in Maryland, right outside of DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, they cleared 95. Yeah. But these back roads to get to 95 is not happening. My son will probably be out of school at least half the week.
And I'm north of him. So if he's getting, let's say, super pause. If he's getting 12 inches, I'm probably going to get 16.
Wait a minute. I feel like you got to talk to the church.
Way too much.
We got to have a conversation.
Hey, way too much.
Very early.
It's the Japanese whiskey. Let's go.
Ooh, Japanese whiskey.
There you go.
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. Look who just got lively. Look at Japanese whiskey.
I just started drinking whiskey and bourbon.
We're not sponsored by, but we got Toki Suntory whiskey right there.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's that's good.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
I'm going to write that down.
There you go.
Now you know we got to bring back our drunken episode. From years ago. Keep going.
Oh man,
keep going, Dave. What you got, man?
Nah, but that's about it. Just preparing for that. That's it. But I'll pass it back over to you. I think you should go first because, like I said, Earl's gonna vent. So
I'll give our guest Ivory. How are you doing? Introduce who you are. I know some faces and some listeners will be like, who is this? Who is this lady up here?
Thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it. My name is Ivori Marie. I always have a hard time answering this question. I'm a woman just trying to make a big difference in the world with the time that I have. So, with that being said, I have a entity. I'll call it an entity right now called Project Beauty. Okay. And the passion, the backbone of that is just living life and just learning how to enjoy the good moments when they're here. Enjoy the beautiful moments. And then, use tools to get through the rest of the shit. That's it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think that one thought I had today before I got on, I was like, it's interesting. The stain of bad shit happening in your life can outweigh every good moment that you've had. And why is that? And I think that one thing I've learned to kind of change my mindset around bad situations is that, I have today. I don't like that this happened, but then tomorrow is a different day. So you can choose to waste time wallowing in the bad things you can't change, or you can appreciate and relish the good moments that come your way. And that's really it. So
I like it.
That's what I live by now.
So by entity, you mean that's what you mean.
Company. Yes.
Oh, he got the sound working. Look at you. Yeah, moving up.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, Earl. How's your day going?
First of all, I don't like all this unnecessary energy. I had a fucking day.
Wait.
The following is intended only for mature audiences.
That part.
Because I had a day. No, because this is one of them days. I don't know if y'all ever feel like y'all did a lot, but didn't.
Look at the fact that he's looking up. He's about to
because I had to collect all of this shit. Like,
you had to collect this stuff.
You did a lot, but you felt like you didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. And it's literally been one thing after the next. And I told myself that my New Year's resolution this year is that I'm not a multitasker. You know what I'm saying? Because like what I tried to do last year was I do one thing, I stop, I go to something else, stop. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This year I was like, nah, I'm gonna finish doing what I was doing. Once I finish, I'm gonna go to the next thing. But in the field that I'm in and working in education, shit always comes up. So what I usually do, I feel like Rev Run when he's in the tub and he's writing his little notes, like in the morning, like no bullshit. I do that every morning. and I write down a list of stuff that I got to do for the day, because it grounds me in it, like, you know, so I don't miss nothing. Man, I ain't even look at that list because as soon as I got there, it was one thing after another. So I had to turn in my, because classes started on Monday. So I had to turn in my edits, you know what I'm saying, so that she could have this, so my chair could get this shit. Then we got this Men Without Shoes project that we doing at my school. We have our exhibition coming up in February. So I've been working with my kids trying to edit the last few pieces of this documentary that we're gonna be presenting. This 3-day exhibition that we're gonna be doing in February. I'm trying to get all this stuff. Then the other stuff I got to school, then little crises that be happening, little fires that you got to put out. So it's just been one thing after the next. But you know, it was a full circle moment, because today something happened and we got, like, they trying to take this exhibition like nationally or whatever. And we had like I had a full circle. I had a full circle moment. I was just on the phone, Ivori, you know, I was on the phone with Casey, and we were talking, and we were just like, yo, the days and stuff and the time that you see when you stress, like when you get to sit back and revel and say, you know what, yo, I did that shit, and you see how the kids respond and just see the permanent product, it's like, yo, all of this shit was worth it. So even though it was a stressful day, you know, that was a good, you know, closer to the day. So I ain't mad.
I like it, Earl. You know what?
Look at you.
Man, shut up.
Trying to beautify yourself.
From champagne.
Just let it all. Just take it.
Mere alcohol doesn't thrill.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? What is this shit?
Tell me why should it be true?
Man, I feel like I need to burn a lighter.
Get a belt out of you.
Man.
Who the hell is that?
Blessings to Earl.
Some get a kick from cocaine.
Oh my gosh, I'm cracking up.
What the hell is that?
Oh my gosh.
That's some new shit, because I ain't never heard that.
Little bit of Blazing Saddles. If you remember that scene when they're working on a railroad and the white cats come up on the horses, and I'm usually quoting. He said, "Why the sour faces? That you guys act like it's 100 degrees. It can't be no more than 115." And then like, so pretty much it was like, why should I get a rise out of you? I got more stuff on my mind. So like, say your day that you took today, it was like, you didn't let it overwhelm you. There was nothing else they can pile on your plate. That's pretty much what I'm saying. That's all.
That's the long version.
Yeah, that's the long version of it. Guys, hey, this is our first episode of 2026. Our first episode. I'm using all of the sound effects because we got them. And this is, I feel okay. Yeah, I just want to know this, because we tried on this show not to dive too far into all of the bullshit that is happening in the world. But sometimes I got to look at it because it can affect something else that you're doing. So that being the case, so right now, I just wanted to make sure that Greenland 2 migration is on its way out. And the reason, it's the second one there is actually, starring Gerard Butler, which I absolutely love. And then Marina Baccarin, that is from, we saw her in Deadpool. And I can't wait for this movie to come out. For a while, I didn't know, because, apparently, they trying to take over, Greenland, which I actually found out that our illustrious commander-in-chief decided to back off of that after NATO was like,
they was like, nah, fuck that shit. Shit. They made that very clear. France.
That doesn't mean he stopped.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean he stopped. But I wanted to see the second part of this film. That's all I want to see. The first one part, it's an extinction level event type thing. If you saw the first one, was really good. The second one, they're gonna be migrating from it. Apparently the world is still blowing up, and then they're migrating from Greenland, which is where they got to. I want to go to Greenland, so I need them not to fuck this up in the other.
So you're
world.
saying that they're working on the third one in real life version? That's what you're saying.
I know. I feel like that's coming. Coming next. I feel like, and it was always funny growing up. They were like, Greenland is actually where all the ice is and cold, and Iceland is where the green is. That completely fucked up my head growing up. I didn't know. Again, I got a 1250 on my SAT, but I didn't understand that part. I don't know what's happening there, man. Episode 174 of the Hot Seat Podcast. We got our special guest, Ivori Marie, tonight. Though, before we can go any further, though, we are powered by DUBBY. Since Earl didn't want to do it, DUBBY Energy, which means no sugar, which means no crash, which means you can do what you need to do. Whether you're a content creator, podcaster, you are a live streamer, you work out, whatever you need to do. Best taste in class.
I need to try that.
If you don't believe me, there you go. Hey, go ahead, log on to dubby.gg, put in our code, the Hot Seed Podcast, get 10% off of your order. You can try the sample pack. You go to get a free shaker bottle with it. I have it right behind me here. Try out the flavors, or you can get one of the tubs. Don't believe me, try those folks there as well. And then, get you a little discount and tell me how it goes. Again, DUBBY Energy, official partner of the Hot Seed Podcast. Let's get right into it, man. We got our guest tonight. It's been a while since we had a guest on, to be perfectly honest, guys. Yeah, it has been. It's been several episodes since we had a guest, but we have a guest now. It's fitting that from looking at your IG and everything else, we're about 21 days in to all the folks out there be like, new year, new me.
Yeah, the ones, of course. Yeah, they stop right about now.
Right about now. Right. But Ivori Marie, man. I'm going to allow the gentleman to just dive right into the questions because there's so many. When it said, I saw one link, then I saw 2 links after that, and I'm like, there's a lot going on right now. So, Dave, chop right into it, brother. What we got, man?
Okay, so Ivori Marie, I saw on your profile we got a Beauty Bodi Coach. We got a background in like occupational therapy. We got focus on spiritual wellness. So you're everything, jack of all trades. But with that being said, one of the things that I always hear is about like no days off. And one of the things that you posted about was stopping isn't a failure. And I want you to express that more to the people that's out there because they feel once they stop, that's that one part where getting back on it, they can't do it. It stops everything. They feel defeated. And I even have one of those shirts, like I said, to say like no days off. And you're just like, oh, yeah, I'm working. But when that stop happens, how do you get back on that horse? How do you jump right back in there without feeling like you? It's funny. I think that I was just talking about this and studying it. I do daily devotions. So the scriptures came up earlier this week. Anyway, one thing I'll say is I don't think people have enough faith built into why they hustle or why they stop. And people don't understand how to use faith to end the stop. And I think even the language of the word stop is the issue, right? And I think that if we understand the value of rest, a break, and sometimes you do have to grind. I think if we look at those words differently and we look at what's the backbone of the hustle or the break, then our understanding and our compassion and just the clarity of starting again doesn't feel so burdensome and it doesn't feel like a failure. And you don't have to experience the feeling of regret. And I only can say that is because I've lived that. And I'll say probably in the last 3 to 5 years, I've understood it better where it's like, yeah, I don't have to look at this like a failure. But if I am uncomfortable with the fact that I'm not doing whatever it is that I said I was going to do, then my energy is best invested in figuring out how to get back to that point and doing that.
So I want to take a step back because I know you, and I want the viewers to get a chance to know who you are. So, I've known Ivori since college. You know what I'm saying? Because Ivori, and my sister went to, the same school. They were cool. Then naturally we all meet. So we all became cool. So Ivori was a stranger, then a friend turned family. So she had all the events, but the thing that I appreciate is, Ivori is send me music. I send her music. You heard this? Nah, you heard this? Like that's my, we exchange music.
Randomly.
Yeah, randomly out of nowhere. And then but when we link, we can have some dope ass conversations. We just went to a winery in the summertime. It was a few of us, and we were just talking, but we was talking about like relationships. But the thing I appreciate about Ivori is that like you can have real talk conversation, and she intently listens. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes she'll give you the perspective, like especially with guys, where I feel like a lot of times when guys are we don't get a chance to vent, you know. So when we're talking and saying our piece, like she really listens, and then could give us the perspective from a woman without being, judging, yeah, or being defensive. And it's like, oh, you know what? I can understand where you're coming from. But, also giving us a perspective from the female point of view, that maybe we're not paying attention to, but always open to listening to the male point of view, because I feel like that's usually what's taken out. But anyhow, I want you to tell the viewers about just who you are. Talk about, your journey. You do a lot of things, occupational therapy. Now you're doing the fitness. You've been doing that, grinding, dope ass cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't shortchange the viewer. Like, tell them who you are.
I need questions.
Before you go there, that is an interesting description of her, and I'm gonna tell you why. In a space where we live now, when you have a male, female, that, and we're not PC here, male, female, that's what we do. But you have someone who's able to listen to a man verbalize something and then be able to take that and not be judgmental of that. Before you go into that part that Earl got in, I think this is important. Ivori, have you encountered situations, and I know this is completely off script, to where you've had challenges? Because our women, you can be territorial. The way that's what happens when you have the homegirl. I mean, respectfully, if you have somebody, like the way that you may talk with your spouse may be different that you may talk with your homegirl. In certain sectors of the world, that may be seen as, well, why can't you talk to me like that? But it's not about you. It's just one of those, you're not attached to me. You don't have any dog in this fight. It's somebody being, they're seeing everything. So have you had any pushback, or I would say it, have you had any situations where you might have got that call late night and be like, why is my ex-wife, my husband, friend, why he talking to you all the time? Why you know what I'm saying? Like, and it doesn't have to be that dramatic, but you
mean as far as like
though.
Me being the friend and having a male friend?
Yes. And they have an attachment to a significant other who feels like, well, shit, he should have came to me with this. But
yeah,
you get where I'm going. Yeah. You get where I'm going.
I think my social background plays a part in that, and I think also just how I look at people. Yeah. Like, I don't look at, oh, I'm a woman and I'm supposed to do this and a man's supposed to do that. I've never ever really conceptualized that. I understand there's differences between the two genders, but I think growing up in the house that I did, and I was raised by my mom, but I didn't agree with her approaches, right? So what it did was, whenever I could interact with a man, because my dad wasn't around, and I knew my issues with my dad were not the definition of a man, right? So whenever I was able to come around a man and understand him, I listened, right? Because all I had was a view from my mom's perspective, and I didn't agree with it, right? I think for me, who I am to my core is I really do want everybody to be like happy, but I grew up in the hood. I grew up in a single parent home. I grew it up without a dad. So I've came into the world with some punches, right? So again, I can either wallow in what I don't have or move forward and appreciate what I do have. And that trickles into my social perspective as well. I also date women. You know what I mean? I date men, but I date women. And so I've also been on the other side romantically with women. And I'm like, this is what y'all make niggas do? Y'all crazy for real. The fuck? Like that's crazy for real. So and understand and understanding that. And I've dated men, and some men is like, oh, you was some bullshit. But not because he's a man, just because he was on some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm somebody where I'm gonna call it to the carpet. I was married for 13 years. And I can't even remember if we had one solid year of being able to communicate smoothly. And that was with a woman. So you'll hear a lot of women talk about men and what they can't do. And I'd be like, well, y'all just as emotionally abbreviated as they are. Just because you voice it doesn't validate it.
Right.
And just because you voice it doesn't mean that it's fair. And so for me, I always felt this way. Even as a kid, I always wanted a partner, a companion that saw me and I saw them. So it's interesting where I've dated both genders and I'm like, oh, women be crazy out here for real. Driving niggas crazy. I hope I can use the word nigga because that's just the tone that the
fine.
craziness.
We don't have those type of sponsors, so it's fine.
Says unfiltered conversation.
Yeah.
And then I listen to my friends, and Kim, his sister will tell you, my friends have come to me for advice, and I'm not the girl's girl. Like, you're not gonna come to me, and I'm like, I'm riding now, which no, I'll be like, bitch, you wrong. You can't say I want this. Women always have a story of like what they want or what they don't want, really. But they never know like what they truly want, and they have no idea on what it means to really be in a relationship. And so people make it about men. I just think it's about individuals who probably lack having the proper tools to be able to have a healthy relationship with anyone. And that's just how I look at it. And I think men too. But I'm a person where I want you to cry. I want you to be vulnerable because for me, whoever I decide to be with is us. So I need for you to trust me with you. You understand? Like, I need you to really understand that I fuck with you and you fuck with me. Everything outside of that, when you have that covenant between two people, man and man, woman and woman, man and woman, and you have an understanding about what y'all are together, then that helps you navigate the outside world much differently. However, if in your covenant, the bricks are falling apart, the windows are cracked and broken, you know what I mean? And you keep calling the crackhead off the street to fix it versus somebody who's really got the tools and skills, you're always going to struggle. That covenant will always be weak.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have had a different perspective on people. Don't get me wrong. I think there's strengths in a man and what a man can bring to the table that I cannot. And the world is always going to remind me of that. And the world is always going to reinforce that. And I think that there's superpowers that a man has and a woman has that we just have. And that's just the way the world was made. But when I am in a relationship or I have a good close friendship, you're a person. And I'm just going to treat you the same way I want to be treated.
Man,
actually, you know what? I want to stay right in that pocket for a moment because it leads a little bit more into Earl's version, but kind of like the quicker version of that answer. What was, pun intended, that hot seed moment that happened within your upbringing, whether it was early in life or later on in life, to get you to the point of saying, I want to beautify somebody's life. I want to get somebody's life right in a certain way in all measures, not just physically, mentally, spiritually. What was the one thing that happened that you were like, that's the wake up moment where I got to get right? Because we don't start off right. We're going through a journey.
I would say early on, like childhood, I never saw my mom happy.
And that's the person that raised me.
Yeah, that's
and my dad wasn't there. So when I understood how her lens created a vision for me to look at the world, and then I have that vision, but I also know how she treated me. And I also know I couldn't articulate as a kid, but now as an adult, I can say that as a kid, I was like, this can't be life. Like this move set you got all the time, like this not it. This not it. And so, God saves babies and fools. I'm not a religious person, but I know God has, he's definitely put favor on my life. God put so many different people in my life. And I'm like, okay, all it did was keep taking this vision and going like this. Then I understood, okay, therapy. Okay. My mom says it's no good. And everybody else I know be like, well, I ain't crazy, but all right, let me try therapy. And then not only did it do this, but then it's cleaning it off. Clean the lens off. Oh shit. I ain't see that detail over there. I ain't see that over there. I ain't see that moment over there. And it just forever, like, yeah, my mom was abusive. And a lot of people don't know that. And she's still alive, but she was emotionally abusive. She was physically abusive, and she was hurting. And she became a mother and entered into motherhood with significant deficits, minimal family support, had a baby with the wrong man. Let's just call it that. I don't have to beat him up. I could just say, you aligned with the wrong person. How many of us lie down with the wrong person and create a seed? Biologically, there is no guidelines to that. But psychologically, there is rules to that.
There's two things. There's an empathizer, those who can kind of like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but they can't really understand. And then there's a sympathizer, and those who can understand exactly. So I sympathize with what you're saying. My mom,
other way around, buddy, but it's okay.
Yeah, my mom, rest in peace. And I said, we get unfiltered here. That I can understand the aspect of you're chasing something. My mom and my father were not together, so I had a stepfather, and there was many occasions where my mom was looking for this thing where she was, she verbalized it, and then what ended up happening over time was, if she wasn't when she wasn't getting that from her marriage, it was up to me and my brothers to kind of like supplement that. See what I'm saying? And then what happens is you end up creating this thing where it's an emotional impact on you, because that's not something that should be put on a child at the end of the day.
Agreed.
It's not the end of the day. I think we've talked about in the past where ultimately for us, really, when we leave this planet, we want to make sure that our kids are good. We're not leaving around no debt. We're not leaving around a house that need to be paid off or nothing like that. And that's ideal. But if you're an OG, if you probably our ages, we probably grew up in houses where our parents or our grandparents was taking care of their parents, and that was the thing to do. You kind of like they will kind of say that you take care of your past there, but as you got older in life, you're like, that's not really paying it forward. That's more so like you're hamstringing the next generation, even though we say we want our kids to be better than us, but at the same time, and some of us can identify with this, you're saying that, okay, a person came in, let's talk about the health, the health care stuff. A person may come into a situation to where they don't have any health care or something along those lines. And then their kids are strapped with taking care of them. And then they're like, You hear about it all the time. They go into debt, stuff like that, trying to take care of their parents because their parents didn't set up that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's different. It's different levels of emotional tolerance and effect that I sympathize with you in this regard, and some of us to a certain levels. To understanding that once you get to this level of adulthood, that doesn't have to be what you kind to push off onto that next generation. Right. Gentlemen, what you got?
Yeah, I think even hearing that, it's, you could either walk away and say, you know, based off of what the upbringing was, right? It could either have a positive or it can have a negative impact, you know. And I feel like a lot of times you'll see it where it's like you could have, you know, had those experiences and said, you know what, this is going to shape me negatively.
Yeah.
And then you would see how it impacts and infuses in your future relationships. Where, like I said, you wouldn't have even known that, you know, this was stemming from that childhood trauma, the stuff that you saw with your mom, you know, and things in that nature, until you was able to unpack it. Or you could do what you did and say, you know what, nah, this ain't it. Like, it's more that, like, I didn't see my mom happy, so I want to be able to get the opposite, you know, because I know that there's more, you know. So I think it's dope, you know, that you was a part of the percentage of saying, you know what, nah, I know this ain't the reality or what I want. Let me see if I can flip it. I think also too, Sean, you brought up something where you said, sorry to jump around, where you said like, we want our kids to be better than us, right? And what we conceptualize as better, we always bring it back to money. We always say we want to make sure that you know, our kids have, they ain't in debt and none of that shit. But we don't never sit up here and say, yo, let's not pass trauma on to these kids. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what we do. And we was talking about this in the we was talking about the trauma situation when we went to the winery, where it's like, when you get into relationships, and this kind of goes back to what you were saying, right? When we get into relationships and you was like, yo, you don't want to talk to, you know, if you talk to your significant other, like, why you ain't bringing this to her? It's like, yo, because it's two people with trauma. You know what I'm saying? And two people with trauma can't necessarily always figure this shit out. And sometimes it's certain things that you're just not going to, or you want to say to that person or in front of that person, because they're not going to receive it in the correct manner, especially without getting defensive. That's why you go to therapy.
Turns into an argument.
Absolutely. Because it feels like it's an attack. That's why you go to therapy and you sit with this non-biased person that helps you, you know, find the root of what's going on. But if you're in there with this other person, is to be able to help you communicate from a non-biased party to say, hey, listen, are you listening to what's being said?
Right.
You know, so.
And there's also a difference between. No, go ahead.
No, I think that a lot of people really don't even know what it means to be in like a relationship. Like, people just don't know. Like, people, what people think relationships are is like some type of commitment to, like, I'm, you know, committing to all their trauma. That's what people really do. You know what I mean? That's why people get territorial and possessive and things like that. Possessiveness is not love. Territory is not love. You know what I mean? So I guess for me, I've also been slow to commit. Like, I'd be like, I need to know what I'm working with. What am I committing to? No, you know, and then I watch people go through divorce and I'd be like, oh my God. Like, I couldn't even imagine being in love with someone and then you see the other side of them. Like, I just be like, yo, I'd rather just respectfully, I'm out. Like, I don't, because I thought we choose to be with each other. Like, you know what I mean? Even with your friends, I choose to be your friend. There's power in that. But I think at some point people forget, because my thing is, if I choose, then that says that I want it. And for me, my responsibility is to take care of it or be a part of taking care of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I choose to be in a relationship with someone, if I choose to be your friend, I plan to show up as my best self with my flaws and say, these are my strengths, and my strengths I offer to you. Just like I expect that you have your strengths and you offer them to me. Because at the end of the day, even if you take it to the Bible, God talks about community. He doesn't create us to fight. He doesn't create us to be selfish. He creates us to say, you got this gift, offer this back to this community. Right now, some of us will monetize it. Cool. God said he wasn't against prosperity. But I think that in relationships, people forget we all have things we have to work on. We all have great skills. So when you commit, I'm like, all right, cool. My skills, your gift, my gift, let's rock.
But
I think one of the biggest things that y'all are talking about is also not just relationship, but the art of communication. A lot of times when we're going outside of that bubble of a relationship, there's a big difference between trying to spread a rumor to pass judgment and really venting. And those are not the same thing. I can bounce an idea off of you because I really want to get a different set of eyes and ears on it, like on the situation, to really get another perspective than my own. And then there's the way of, well, let me tell you what he or she did. Just to spread gossip and rumors, and now you can spread that to whoever else. And by the time you want to come back and fix things, you can't, because not only you are looking at me in a certain way, the whole friend group, the whole family, everybody looking at me in a certain way. And we can't come back from that, because now they know what I call that household business.
Right.
So there's a big difference between the two. But one thing I do want to throw at you, because, you know, we're bouncing around. Like I said, it's regular conversation. So on the unfiltered side of things, because I told you this is unfiltered conversation. So within that unfiltered side of things, and I know you're going to be real with me, give me one unfiltered thing that you wanted to say to a client, but it didn't come out your mouth. You know that one thing that you were sitting back like, man, I swear to God, I do.
I said it at the beginning of the show. I told you I had to be.
What is that one unfiltered thing that you wanted to say? This client that kept on giving you excuses.
Okay, so because I have clients in two different arenas. So I have clients for like training, like wellness training and all that, and then I have clients because I do pediatric OT. So I work with
because they both can give you excuses.
Let's do wellness, because you know it's New Year, new me. New Year, new me.
But I'm busy though, because you know I work 5 days a week, and then I got another job and I got family.
I got to be able to go to Cabo in April.
Yeah.
So I have. Okay.
It's a holiday weekend.
Facts.
So I have had people all the days, right? I've had people refer people to me to lose weight or to reshape their bodies. And I've said this plenty of times, because I don't want to be stressed out because I done offered you something I can't offer you. Like I can't give, right? So I've had women who have definitely have like a linear shape, you know, it's given like SpongeBob essence type vibes, you know, and
there you go.
Yeah, like, you know, cool. It's cool. And then you want to show me a Coke bottle. Now.
So basically, you saying you come in with a pear body, but you trying to show me a Coca-Cola body. Is that what you're saying? I ate a pear early today, and I looked at it and I was like, there's really people out here that's really trying to turn this into a Coke bottle. I don't understand it. Is that what
or a pencil that you're trying to turn into.
Right.
Yes, like they want like Cinderella magic. I'm not a Cinderella trainer. Like, bruh, no, I'll tell you. Women have said, well, I want this look, I want that look. And I'm like, I'm not that trainer, because at the end of the day, I'll say it professionally, but usually I want to be like, did you look at your fucking ass in the mirror? Bro, that ain't happening unless you going under the knife. So what you want? You want to be trained? You want to get your body in the best way, shape that it can be? Or you want to look like the woman off Instagram? That's fine, but you got to understand behind the scenes, that woman is getting worked on under the knife.
Is it only the woman side that you work with?
I've done men. Men are typically they're very like functional in their like, you know what I mean? Weight loss. Where I've had a couple men come to me and be like, you know,
they're like, oh, my girl don't want me no more, whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I'll ask them, how authentic do you want me to be? And they're like, well, keep it a bean. Okay. And I'm like, well, what's going on? So they'll tell me, I feel like in the last 10 years, I've seen a uptick in men at a younger age deal with erectile dysfunction. And right. And so I'll ask them that, because if I can look at you and I'm looking at your whole body, and then I know where your penis lies, and then I can tell in your eyes if you're tired, I'll be like, bro, are you fucking your girl? Well, no, because this is what's going on. Because I want to get down to the business. A lot of people come in for aesthetic reasons, for losing weight. Cool, right?
That's where I was going next. Yep.
Right. You know, but for the men clients, I tell them, and I'm like, look, it won't do this if you're not doing that. So I like talking to men because I'm a woman, and I think I do a good job in that point of compassionately being like, look, if you follow what I tell you to eat and you do this, you rocking. And then they do it and they have results. Cool. You know what I'm saying?
So
with women, it's different. It's different.
So I'm gonna ask you this question. So I've had this issue my entire life.
Okay.
So I don't know how I got to this. So I've always wanted to be guy. So I was prior Army, worked out, stuff like that.
Okay.
But I can never, I don't care what all my guys, all my guys, we were in the military at the time, I can never develop the pec thing going on. But unfortunately,
that guy was about to tell us about erectile dysfunction.
So hell no.
We are unfiltered.
Let me tell you something. I was waiting because I was going to fuse myself off this motherfucker. I ain't heard that shit.
Hey, how many inches they about to have this weekend in the DFB? 18, right? No, but it's so crazy that you say that. I ain't gonna lie, because for me, and I joke about it, and if you watch football, I have the lower half of me, I have the Saquon thighs. Like my lower half of my body, I'm good. I can squat a fucking Volkswagen, but I walk around. I'm not trying to look like the worm off of goddamn Men in Black. I can keep that, but I can't get the pecs right. Like I want to be to throw the oil on and be like, bow. See my Batman shirt? I want that shit to be they pop like this. Come on now, I need to let me know what I need. I'm out here buying stuff. We got money. I don't know. Give me something.
You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to you have to.
I'm about to go Drake, and I'm about to get some implants in my pecs because I'm feeling some type of way right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying?
How'd that work out for him?
Can you not get pec implants?
Look. I want some money off of Miami's run to the national championship playoff, so I got disposable income right now. I don't know what you want me to do. I really
got to slide that in there, huh?
I do. That's
right. I'm cracking up.
So die.
I don't even know what to say.
But the question really is though. The question really is this and going back is for guys. To your point, they reach a point probably in their 30s, 40s when they get to there where the body doesn't look right and it does affect everything else going on. What's that conversation like? You about to go into it. What's that conversation like when you got, hey, brother, hey.
Okay, I'll give you another point. I'll go back to when I first became a therapist, I did adult rehab and I met this guy. He fell because he had a stroke, right? Young guy. And so not because I was still young, like I was a student. I was in grade school and I was still a student, but I don't even know any other way to speak. So the supervisor like walked away. He was just like angry, right? And I'm like, this guy is hurting, and I'm also very like empathic in a sense where I'm sensitive to energies, you know what I'm saying? So I pick it up and I see it. Like I just be like, I see beyond that, which makes me call people to the carpet because I'm like, you want to be here in this anger, but this is a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like, let's get to it so you can get some solutions. So he was so angry. He was cursing. He was not complying with the rehab protocols. So when she walked away from him and I looked at him and I could feel inside that he wanted to like fucking cry. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? He was a truck driver, 2 kids, under 35, beautiful girlfriend trying to make her a fiance. You got your whole shit running. And then you have a stroke unexpectedly, right? And all the roles that made you activate every day have now changed because something in you that you couldn't control. Well, you could control it, but you you didn't press activate of a stroke. So here you are. So when she walked away, I was like, listen, I said, I want to help you, but you being mean and I don't like to be mean. Like, don't be mean to me. Like he was like, you don't understand. Like, it's so much stress. It's so much this. I said, well, what do you want to do? What's the top 3 things you want to be able to do once you go home? And he was like, what you mean? I said, what's the top 3 things? And he was, he was giving me some like medically okay, socially okay answer. And he was like, I said, you want to be able to make money. You want to be able to fuck your girlfriend. And you probably want to go and come as you please. Straight up. And he looked at me. He was like, well, you right. You know what I mean? Like, what can you say?
Is that real life?
In real life, like, you know what I
mean?
Right. Right? So he said, yeah. And he was like, it's funny that you say that. He was like, why would you say about the sex part? And I said, well, I think that's one of the things you enjoy about being with somebody, being young. You know what I mean? That's an enjoyable thing to do. And now as the man, because he was a very like macho man, you could tell in the write-up, you like, oh, he's a man's man, right? So your life thrives off you providing for others, right? Cool. So let's talk about that. How can we put you in a place where you can still provide, given the fact that your body is different now? So once he was able to kind of lean into that, then I was like, all right, well, this is how we can do this. We can get you to use your left side. You got to just be patient. You got to practice. There's multiple ways you could please your wife. Do you think she's going to cheat on you? Let's really talk, because if that's the case, when you go home, these conversations would have already been started with her. You know what I'm saying? And come and go as you please. That means, he actually recovered pretty well, but he did have to use a wheelchair for like a good month, right? But, I had to give him the silver lining of where he was now and be like, this is what you can do now. And yeah, but I did it very solution based. Instead of like, for him, he wasn't a guy that needed a full bloom conversation. He needed his top 3 priorities, and then like, what are the solutions for those priorities? And that's where we started. But it was interesting because he was a Black man. My supervisor was a white older woman, and I just felt like he was just like, I'm here, but I need something that's going to make me feel powerful again. You know what I mean? I don't even know how I got here. And so I just came
from that point. A lot of this
conversation
involves, no matter where we started at within this conversation and where we're at right now, and I know you have it within your title as far as a background, but even with what we do before we got on here, I told you this conversation here really started up as therapy for us without us even knowing it was therapy. Yep. A lot of people don't realize that everyone needs someone to talk to. I don't care what it's about. It could be something kind of minor to one person, while the other thing, it's everything. You have no idea what my experience is. What may affect you, I may be able to brush off my shoulder, and likewise. But you want to be able to have a conversation without the judgment that comes in, and really get some true recommendations and advice from that. Not a judgment from that, but true recommendations and advice. So, that's why when you said it right, when we're talking about like the beauty body side of things, immediately people see the body part and they're like, hey, I want to get this right. But if you can get all this right, but all of this is not right, it doesn't matter, because it all falls apart. All of it's done.
So, I remember when I was going through chemo, and I woke up every day. I woke up for 8 months, the first time I did chemo, and my body like hurt, like was in pain from head to toe, like head to toe. And there was no other way for me to deal with that besides being like completely faithful, and then finding 2 people, and I was not close with them, to talk to, because that was the only way to like release the energy.
And when I train people, even my fitness class, I do a fitness class, like a dance fitness class. What I realize is the class I'm leading is allowing you a space to take all of that shit that built in a day and like completely let it go. Even if it's for a moment, just so that when you return back to it, because you got to return back to it, your cup is not runneth over completely. You've had somewhere to energetically drop it off and re-regulate. And no matter, regulation is a term I use for my children at work, but regulation is a human experience that we're not even really beginning to knock on that. Just because we're older doesn't mean our energy goes anywhere. It doesn't mean, people think we're supposed to be able to like handle our emotions better. But if nobody taught you, then what can you do? If nobody taught you how to communicate, that doesn't change because now you're 30 and you're not 3. And that's what I realized. Like a lot of us are abbreviated before 10 years old with just pure psychological emotional development. Our bodies will continue to exactly.
What you just described was COVID. And what I mean by that is when COVID happened, all of us was at home. Yes, exactly. You was like, you know what? It caused me to recalibrate myself and realize it's like, it's more than me just punching that clock, whatever time it is. So coming out of it, you have to make a decision. Are you going to go back to the bullshit that you're doing prior? Or are you going to stand on, hey, I need this particular time, regardless of what your occupation is, I need this time to go, whether it's spend time with my family, I need this time off to go do myself. Because what we got caught up in is life. exactly that. We've gotten to a case, and to your communication standpoint, we got to a point, a job hires you, says, I need you to do X, Y, Z, work X amount of hours, we're going to give you this much money. And we just shut the fuck up. We don't say anything because we're in fear if we say something, we're going to lose this position. But here's the thing. If they brung you in for this, they don't really want to lose you.
Right. They need you.
But if they see that you will capitulate to whatever they say, then they'll be like, okay, we can work one over. Shut your ass up, Earl. So I give you that. Hey, like I'm gonna use my PTO on this side.
This motherfucker don't know the difference between empathy and sympathy, but can say capitulate.
Wait a minute, man. Wait. I don't know the difference between empathy and sympathy.
Yeah, you used it backwards.
I use it backwards.
Yeah, it was good. It was fine. We're not gonna go back to that moment.
God,
I
was cracking up.
You made the point.
No, but so
go ahead.
My bad. So it just got me thinking, right? And then I have another segue question.
I like your attitude right now, buddy.
I'm sorry. I apologize. So I'm just thinking about like just the people the person that you said. I know HEPA and you can't say certain shit, but it's just funny to me that maybe because I'm a different motherfucker. I have a I don't give a fuck clause in my life.
You are kind of different.
And I just be feeling like, yo, these people that are doing certain things for others or I guess for the improvement of others, to me is I can't subscribe to that. It's like I can't even say I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like, yo, if you fell on brother had a stroke, right? Whether he had control of it or not, I'm pretty sure there was probably some lifestyle changes that he probably could have,
there was.
He could have did, right?
Right.
But regardless, you're in a relationship, right? To me, when stuff like this happens, that's how you really test out who you really with. Forget marriage. Like this is how you really test. Like, so if I'm with somebody, I done laid down with this person, I done had 2 kids with her, you know what I'm saying? And I'm living with this person, let's just say. I'm living with this person. That means that I didn't do this mistakenly. Like I knew what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That this person means have some kind of significance to me. But if if I ever feel like, yo, you somebody that I'm just like, yo, I got to do X, Y, and Z because if I don't, I'm gonna lose you. Then you wasn't worth being with in the first place. And then that goes that leads me into my next question, because this is gonna be a little deeper. So I often have a conversation, right, with colleagues, and we talk about marriage. Now, all of us have been married here. 3 of us are still married, right? And
they am married. Don't do that to me.
I've been married twice, but keep going.
Yeah, so we know what that is about, right? Sorry. What I feel is lost, and Ivy, you can stop me whenever. What I feel like is lost is the understanding of what marriage is and what it means. Sure. I had a conversation with the girl on my bowling team, who said to me that her sister, I believe, met a guy on one of these websites, was with him for a year. They kicked it off and was like, yo, you got another year to pop the question or something leaving. And the nigga popped the question. So I said, so that's okay? Like, you're going to force the dude's hand, like, and you're on a timetable? And she was like, I mean, yeah, I guess. So I'm like, so what if it don't work out? So you get married and all of this, and if it don't work out, then what? She was like, well, you know, it is what it is. And I was like, and that's how I think that's the mindset, and it's the wrong mindset, because I think a lot of times right now, I know women have a biological block, you know, I mean clock, because I know with kids and stuff like that. But I also feel like some women are trying to get married because of one, the aesthetics, two, because they're trying to put on for their friends. And I'm like, if anybody who's been at a wedding or has had a wedding, you know good and well that a motherfucking wedding ain't for you. It's for the guests. You know what I'm saying? And all you low key doing is you just trying to, yo, I had this, and that in my wedding. You know what I'm saying? You may not outwardly come out and say it, but you're showcasing it by certain things. And then even to the point of the ring, right? The ring is supposed to be symbolic of the union. That shit turned into a whole fucking shit. Yo, I need X, Y, and Z carrots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had situations where I will not name names, but I know people who significant others said, yo, after they popped the question, yeah, thank you for this, but I need you to go back and upgrade because I don't like this. I said, yo, the fucking audacity, because it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. So I guess what I threw a lot there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you threw a lot. That went from OnlyFans to
yeah. So I guess the question.
For all the listeners, because you know, if you're not watching on YouTube, for all the listeners, Earl is wearing a polo right now. This is how you get these kind of questions. He has a goddamn polo. Listen, so that's why. And it's like the top button is unbuttoned. So he is a long question. Ask the question.
It's just, what is your thoughts on the sanctity and just how marriage is viewed? You know, and do you feel like people really understand what marriage is about?
No. But I'm also, again, and this is where I feel like I think I struggle, and like honestly, I get so uncomfortable going into a room full of women because I'll be like, y'all not going to like my opinion. And so for some reason I can't hear y'all. Y'all still there?
Yeah, we got you. We here.
Okay. So one thing, hold on. I gotta I'm gonna put my, I should be good. I'm gonna put my charger in soon. Yeah, so I'm not.
Don't edit it. I see you editing in your head right now. Come on.
Stay out of my head. I don't want to get married unless, I don't want to even put the shit on public display if it ain't right. Like I recently had someone question something that I put on my story. And it was funny when I was talking to a friend who doesn't know me that well. She was like, Ivori, we don't even know when the last time you had a date because you don't put that shit out for no one. And I don't.
Because the thing is, I don't
fine.
even look, relationships are great, but I don't, if you want to know who I am, a relationship is a part of me. It's not who I am. It's never been that for me. So I never forget one time I was with someone, we were engaged and then we broke up, and went on to Facebook and was like, oh, now single. And it attracted like all of this attention from people who knew that we were together. And I'm like, I'm not even on that type time. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't commit fast. And I mean, my marriage that I was in, we were in a relationship until maybe 6, 7 years, 8 years, and then we got married on some health insurance shit, to be completely honest with you. But other than that, I was not going to walk down the aisle with her because I'm like, bro, you don't even know how to fucking communicate. You don't even feel okay being vulnerable, but you want me to fucking commit to you. And that was one of the biggest things. Like, oh, I wanna buy the house, I wanna have the kid, I wanna do all the fucking American dream shit. But I don't want to tell you when I feel the fuck sad. I'm not broadcasting that because you don't want the covenant that I want. One thing about COVID, and I was with her during COVID, and I always say this to people: if we don't have any of these tangibles, if we don't have any of these luxuries, damn near, if we don't have no fucking essentials, can I ride with you? So many relationships operate and marriages operate on roles, trauma, woulda, coulda, shouldas, settling. Not all, but a lot of people choose relationships and marriages for the wrong reasons.
It's
And
true.
sometimes, even when people say, will we stay together for the kids? What? What? A kid will make you deal with yourself without your control. So you gonna bring that motherfucker into this shit and y'all ain't got it together? Y'all don't even have a rhythm to fucking communicate, and you gonna bring in another life. So for me, I've never been a one that's like, oh, let's just run down the aisle. You know, that has not been my life experience. It's not what I grew up in. And so I'm very candid. I'll tell people right away, listen, if you're looking for a commitment in like 3 to 6 months, it's not going to happen. Even for me to say we're exclusively dating, that has to be a conversation. Right? I'm very clear. Hey, we're dating, and I'm dating means I'm out here giving my number to other people. Then when we have the conversation that we're exclusively dating, that means I might be giving my number out, but it's not for romantic interest. Oh, now I want to be in a relationship. Okay. And then we talk about that. And then when it's time for marriage, because I think even from when you date to exclusively date to being in a relationship to being in marriage, what happens is you and then us starts to get skewed, right? It's the scale changes, right? And then when you're in a relationship or a marriage or whatever, and you bring a kid in, it really gets skewed, right? Because now your responsibilities have changed. That's why it's so important that from grassroots, you like, I can fuck with you. You know what I mean? Because there are going to be life situations in which you both have to deal with, and it's not going to be pretty. But the best thing about the relationship, if it's built right, is that you can come home or come to each other and find a morsel of peace.
So I'm going to give you a quick view of something that you just said happening in real life. And fellas should know where I'm going with this. So had a friend that a couple of us were going to be part of this wedding. And to kind of fast forward the story quickly, good guy, good girl. But I kind of knew them together were on two separate planes. But that's not for me to judge. That's also not for me to sit up there and say what you need to do or not, unless I'm asked. So it got down to a point where it was to the point where we already got like our groomsmen gifts before the wedding. Like it was that close. But we knew exactly when it was going to be. And all of a sudden I get a phone call. I'm at my son's soccer practice. And I get a phone call and I pick up the phone and this person's like, yeah, man, out of the blue, this person moved up the therapy sessions and also moved the wedding up. And I said, why are you talking as if you're not we anymore and it's just her and you? And I was like, you were no part of that? And he was like, nah. And then, I do the lean back. Okay. Because you didn't ask me anything yet. So I was like, oh, okay. Kept on watching the practice, and he wasn't saying anything. And then finally he comes out, let me ask you something, man. What do you think about this? If you got to ask that question, you already know where you're at.
Right.
Exactly.
You see what I mean? That's number one to it. But number two, if you want the truth, then ask me the question. The fellas know.
Yeah.
If you want me to be sugarcoated, I'm not the friend to call. So call somebody else. Call somebody else. But he asked me, and I said, let me ask you something. And this was the statement that I remember to this day. I said, let me ask you something. How long can you be an actor?
True.
Oh.
And he said,
you want that Oscar and all?
Yeah. He said, what do you mean? And I said, bro, whenever you're around with her, you're not you. I don't recognize you. You've been like that for years now while y'all been dating. You haven't been you. You can put the smile on all you want. You can do a little fake laugh, but you're acting. You're good at it. It's cool. But how long can you do that after the commitment? And will you ever be happy within that stance? And he got very quiet. And he was like, you really see that? And I said, yeah, but you see it too. That's why you asked me the question. You just want somebody to confirm it.
Right.
And then he said, yeah. And next thing I know, a couple weeks later, they're done. But I say that to you because it's true that people really don't know what a marriage, a commitment, a union, all these things are. Whether you put a ring on a finger or not, people just don't know how to be together. They don't know how to stand together. They don't know how to move on one person.
Let me ask you this, Ivori, and a gentleman can try. They can chime in if they want. First question, Ivori, are you a football fan?
No, I'm not.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Let's say yes or no.
I'll say yes.
Yes. Okay. You have a team. Yeah, football. So, what's your favorite team? It doesn't matter. No judgment.
I root for the Eagles.
All right. That's all you gotta say. It's all fine. Okay. All right. So, this is how I made this. I made this comment some years ago, and it was funny, but it was like, and I saw. I saw marriages like this. If you treat marriage, because, you know, at the end of the day, in a lot of cases, marriage is a contract. We know what it is. For a person who actually had, you know, got divorced, to get out of a marriage is a lot harder than getting in. You can get in, but getting out, it's like breaking a contract. So I thought, you know, me being that 1250 guy from off the SAT. So I want to say, so I saw marriages like this. If you're getting married, that's your first round draft pick. First round draft pick, you have the option of picking up a 5-year, 5th-year option. You can't do that until year 3. You can extend them, or, you know, you can decide if you want to just let go and pick up that 5th-year option. So the way I saw it is, if you get married to somebody, year 1, you know, it's post where Earl was saying the wedding, the ring, and everything else. Year 2, you look at, and then year 3. Year 3, you're trying to figure out if that person is somebody who they were a CPAP machine, if they came fried chicken, shit like that. It's just random shit. And then by year 3, you might be deciding, be like, do I want to keep going forward, or I want to extend them in the NFL? You can extend them to a longer contract, or you decide, nah, I'm just gonna do a 5th year. So you might go into year 4, figure it out. You might have a kid. You have a kid. And then you got one more year to decide where we can still extend you, or after that 5th year, we're going to allow you to go into free agency. Now, with free agency comes to an aspect of you can lose them for nothing, or you can franchise them and get something in return.
Yeah, you really thought about this shit.
Dead ass on everything. Because when you go into that marriage, you have to think of this, unfortunately, and I'm not speaking for either one of us, but you have to think about a lot of people. You have to think of this as a business contract, because here's what happens. If your spouse has bad credit and they pass away, that still has to be paid for. They're going to call you for it. Okay. If your spouse, unfortunately, decides that this ain't right for me, I want to take the kids, male or female, you have to deal with that. So I say that on the NFL side, there is a team of people that they spend hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for to scout a person to go to the first round. A lot of married people are NFL fans, and they spend that amount of money for a person that they anticipate being with their team for 10 to 15 years. It behooves you to do your goddamn research to see if you want to spend 20 to 30 years with you and you don't have six figures and millions of dollars for. That's the point of the analogy that I just gave.
This guy here, I'm about to go franchise tag my wife real quick.
Got it. One time for the light skinned guy.
Hey, real quick though, Sean, because I know we're winding down here, but there was something I do not want to glance over because you did mention it, and I kind of held on to something you said, Ivory. You said that you went through chemo, and that's real close to my heart because I dealt with somebody going through that. Yeah, a couple of us here. But I say that to you in the sense of we were also talking about foundationally in the core and that support around you. And then also, I know you also have segments within what you do. I know you were talking about the difference between religion and spiritual wise, but you also have the beauty and the Bible segments within. How important is that faith to kind of help you along through, like, whether it's a physical plateau or a mental plateau, or even that core base of your friendship and friends? Not only to go through something that you went through like that, but we said it before, life be life, and there's so many things that it could be going this way, and that one thing just changes a whole direction and you're thrown off course. But if you have that core, how important is that?
I think it's very important. And I'm gonna split it up because I look at, faith is very much a personal relationship with self. No matter what you label the entity of God, right? It's a relationship with self and whoever you look at as a higher power to yourself, right? But really it's a relationship with yourself. And then two, support system. So for me, I'll just say go and do different things. I actually the first time I went through chemo, I didn't tell my mom. I told two people I was not cool with, like, because I did not want to see the reality of the people around me. Because what you learn when shit get tough, you start to see who really fuck with you and who really don't. I couldn't even deal with the pain of that because I kind of knew who was around me. But I also can say, shout out to therapy, is that I also had an issue with letting go, right? So, not that I wasn't authentic, but I wasn't, because at the end of the day, I didn't really trust many people around me to even tell them because I didn't want to see how people were going to fall short. Um, and because the thing is, when you go through things like that, you don't have time to put on a face. You don't have the patience to bridge the gap for this person where you really want to be like, what's really fucking wrong with you? You don't have that capacity when you're going through something like chemo and day-to-day treatment, right? Because your capacity is already limited and already filled.
All your energy is trying to go towards that.
Yeah. So, there's a lot that goes in with any type of injury or long-term illness, even if it's like long-term but like short-term acute. um in hindsight, I don't know if I would do anything different. However, I'm not the person that will probably reach out for a whole lot of help, um just because I'm a type of friend, like, with Earl's sister, right? The way I'm set up with God and the way he made me, I'll be like, I'll literally, her face will come up for me randomly, right? In the day. I'll be like, I gotta reach out to her. Yo, what's up?
And sometimes I could tell when she like trying to keep it at bay, and then other times I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she'll be like, "How did you know?" Right? I want that too. Right? I'm a good communicator, but sometimes you just want people to see you. Everybody's not equipped that way. So in hindsight, would I do anything different for the support system? Maybe, maybe not. But my faith, it changes your lens. It changes your lens. So even for when you have faith and you see and you're revealed or the revelations of people, right? There's only but so much anger and hatred you can actually possess, right? Because if you understand human error, human fault, the impact of what happened to you when you were 8 versus some dumb shit you did at 18 and the fact that you 42 or 48 or 56, whatever you're dealing with, if you understand that, then you can only look at somebody and be like, this frustrated me, this did this, this did that. God reveals it to you. So now that you have a revelation of that person, now you have the power to decide what you want to do. Do you keep them in your circle or do you let them go?
I always say when you want to build up true hate for someone, that still takes energy. It still takes a space, a block in your mind and things. So people think oh no, I hate that person or I hate this. You think that you're brushing it off. No, it's still there because you're thinking about it. You got to think about it to hate somebody.
And one thing chemo taught me is, I never forget, I went to these women. I don't know if they were like, she was a shaman or something, but she was giving psychic vibes. One thing she told me was that, when we have unaddressed pain, it'll localize in your body. And so for me, I've been through uterine fibroids. I've had cancer, uterine fibroids, uterine and ovarian cancer, and I had to have an early reproductive system. Hysterectomy. When you go through stuff like that, you don't have no choice but to like allow God to just show you how to get through it. And if you want to live your life and use this lifespan well, you have to be able to identify the silver lining. Sometimes clarity is a silver lining. So you can make a decision on what you need to do moving forward. And for me, studying faith, because I study it right now, it's like a workout in the gym. Because my heart is open to it, I am getting everything that I need. And now that it was like weird. I got into wellness and fitness, but still there was old parts of me that I'm like, I need to shed them. And so then, but shit has happened in a way where I had no choice but to be faithful. Right. And in doing that, I've been able to make decisions better. I've been able to be open to what's really for me. There's logistics in that, there's efficiencies in that and all that, because we still have to live in this life. You know what I'm saying? But it's also helped me just navigate with a different lens. Did I answer your question?
No, you did.
No, more than enough. Yeah.
And it's so crazy, man, that not everything has a silver lining. Sometimes it's bronze. Not so breaking news. So when it comes to bronze,
the transition.
You guys didn't know already. The I guess when they're no longer minting bronze. And I don't know if you guys know, you guys do, but I have a bunch of banks in the house, like literally physical banks with pennies and stuff like that.
Pull your mic closer.
Me? Oh, you can't hear me? What? That's
crazy. I hear you, but
it's going like
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so we have some piggy banks in here. I actually have a Tootsie Roll bank that has a bunch of change and stuff in it, and has quite a few pennies in it, which is going to be interesting. And if you guys didn't actually know, no silver lining in this. I apologize, Ivory. I apologize. But there's this thing where they say, now they're no longer minting pennies. It actually cost them 4 cents to actually mint 1 penny, which is 1 cent. So this is according to SILive.com. So it said, have this coin. So it could be worth $1 million or more. So if you have a spare change jar, you might want to shift through it. According to a personal finance website, GoBankingRates.com, there are some coins floating around there worth a hefty sum, including a 1943 D Lincoln bronze wheat penny valued at $2.3 million, designed by Victor D. Brenner. This is one of the highest valued pennies in circulation today. The site explains during World War II, pennies were made of steel to save copper for the war effort. However, a few were mistakenly made, of course, of bronze, and these are extremely rare and valuable, made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc alloy. It sold for about $1.7 million in 2010, but it's valued at $2.3 million today. So if you got change, I got a bunch of change in my car. I got something I put in my baby's bank, but you might want to look through your pennies because as they have gotten rid of those, so if you might have a $2.3 million penny just sitting in your your change.
If I find that, you'll know because I'm gonna be here next week.
And I know for everybody listening, it was like, how the fuck you go from something so serious to a penny? Because it's the Hot Seat Podcast. That's what we do. It really is. It really is. Yeah,
Can I flip it back on you?
Absolutely.
Okay. So guess what? You're right. Everything does not have a silver lining, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as you spoke, that same bronze penny, that same penny has value over time.
Yeah, it does.
When you go through bad situations, right?
There we go. Get it.
You go through bad situations, and you go through that storm, right? Time's passing, right? But you make it now. You can make a different decision because of that penny. Something happened. You didn't like it, but it changed you. Ideally, it changed you for the better. Mm-hmm. So let's use an example. You get a divorce from the love of your life. It's the worst fucking thing in the world. Y'all done fought and all types of shit. Kids in the middle, all that. Okay. In the first 3 years of that, fucking shit show.
Right. You gotta go pick up that 50 option. Gotcha.
Right. Then maybe the next 2 years, you by yourself. You work on you. You figure out a new routine, a new way of life. And on that 6 years, you meet someone else who you then realize is much more aligned with you as what you want as a partner or companion in life. So the only way you would have got there is that time before you got to that point with that one person. And over time, from that one penny, now maybe you're different. You have an understanding of your value in this life, and you meet someone that's more met with you now and aligned with you now that's adding value to your life. So to me, it's all the same.
It is. And you know what? So basically you were He-Man and you met your She-Ra.
What?
Got it.
Not long ago, when
they give me audio. I am so mad. I had this queued up. I am so mad. If you guys haven't seen, there's a new Masters of the Universe He-Man trailer that just came out. True gave 1980s nostalgia all through this
more than ever,
trailer. I fumbled. I don't know why I'm not getting audio right now, but it's out. It's officially out right now. You can find it on YouTube and everything else in between. For those who are watching on YouTube, you see what I'm talking about right now. Yeah, man. Look, you know what? You queued me up. I didn't plan this. Like I just worked. Look, I told you we just work off what you do. And then we go from there, man.
I'm cracking up.
Have you guys?
That was classic.
Ivory, you probably hadn't seen it. I think Dave, did you see it? I did. I know I sent it to you.
I didn't see it.
Did you guys watch? Did you guys see the new trailer? Anybody? Earl, I know you ain't seen it.
I didn't see it yet.
No,
Earl will see it next year.
God, mighty. Yeah, he needs the next year. He's the worst. You're the absolute worst.
Hey, wait, because I gotta ask this one especially.
There you go. You know what time it is.
Like that, real quick.
Let's go.
Give me that go-to jam. You're in there. You didn't really want to be in the gym. Maybe it's a rainy day and stuff like that. You're in there. You need to pump yourself up. What are you popping on in your ears? What are you listening to?
Well, can I tell y'all what I was? It was DMX.
Which what? What DMX though?
Wait, I don't even know. Wait, let me.
What these bitches want from a nigga?
That was number 2, to be honest.
Yeah. Is that what you're saying? Yes.
Bitches want from a nigga.
Horrible.
She in there like, hey yo.
What these bitches want from me? God damn. She want me. She want to
get off that machine.
What she want from me? She look like a pear, but she want to be a Coke bottle. What the fuck? God, oh, SpongeBob square booty ass bitch. Sorry, I apologize. I'm sorry. It came out of nowhere. I'm sorry. Apologize.
That was.
We're powered by DUBBY Energy. I apologize. Shout out to you guys.
I got a whole bunch of empathy and sympathy for you.
Yeah, what was your DMX track though? What was your DMX track?
It was Rough Riders, and then what you want was the next song. I was literally doing it yesterday. I went to the gym at like 5 a.m. and it was cold, and I was like, I do not want to go outside right now, but I did go, and it was good. But it just roused me up.
I'm just gonna drop it and start working out.
That's what we're doing. Yep. Yep.
Something new.
Yep, yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, absolutely.
Been on that damn machine for like a half an hour.
Absolutely. I ain't lost a half a pound. This is a hot tea podcast with your boy Sean Xavier and the storyteller, Master Earl. We got Ivori Marie, man. Episode 174. Of course, this podcast wouldn't be what it is, man, if we hadn't taken our Xbox Live chat from the Xbox Live space and turned it into a podcast, which we weren't expected. And 5 years later, we still doing this shit, man. So, of course, man, you can still find us on our Xbox apps, if you want to call that. You can find me at Sanaa2X on Xbox Live. The game and situation has gotten crazy. Every day I'm seeing something. I saw Ubisoft today that they decided to cancel like 6 games, including Prince of Persia. So I don't know what's going on. But you can find me on college football. You can find me on Madden. That's what I'm rocking in right now. You can find me on Wheel of Fortune too, because you can get these hands. I'm really good at Wheel of Fortune.
Wait a minute, I got the Wheel of Fortune, so we can do that.
We can do that. We can play Wheel of Fortune as well. We can do that. Absolutely. We are old as shit. I told you I've been playing online, man. I beat the shit out of some lady named Linda. She thought she had it, and I ran up. She was up like 9,000 to 2,000. I turned around and won 18,000 and 9,000. Lady, you don't know me. I watched this my entire childhood. I watched
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. Then I watched Alex Trebek and Jeopardy right after that. 7 and 7:30. I watched it every day of the week. You can't tell me shit. Sanaa2X, man, on Xbox Live. What you got, Dave or Earl?
Storyteller.
Yeah, you go.
Storyteller. Yeah, I'm on all the other games too. Madden, NCAA. Jumping into some other games that I wasn't playing before too. So off of our conversation at the end of the year, I said, man, that was a sad gaming conversation. So I really need to jump back into this gaming life. But I'll tell you one neat thing. Don't have the article with me, but I'll send you the link. We're all waiting for the new Grand Theft. I heard that they released the Grand Theft early to somebody that was ill to the point of, maybe not being here, terminally ill, to the point of maybe not being here for the release of the Grand Theft. So they released it early to that person, and they got to play it early already. So pretty awesome.
I thought you was going to mention. I saw that too. I thought you was going to mention the fact that they actually had a fire at Rockstar Studio. Did you? See that?
I saw that also. Yeah, but I thought this was kind of a better story.
That's pretty cool. Fair. That's fair.
Hopefully they don't push it back because of that.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that. What you got, Earl?
NJ Fatboy 973. I mean, I haven't really had too much time, but I guess we've been on the what was it, the basketball?
Who've been on basketball?
Me and Dave, because we have it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize about
that. But that's it. That's it.
My thumbs don't work right. I don't like it.
Well, that erectile dysfunction maybe will get you right.
Right, man. But hey, look, hey, but and it's crazy though. But I'm about to drop that 18 inches on their ass this weekend when the snow comes.
My God.
Got him. Come on, you about to get a sister. Oh, brother, I don't know.
You never look at snow the same ever again.
My God.
We ain't saying inches no more. We saying quarter of a foot.
Ivori, what you doing? What you doing in your time? You got a game you playing on your iPhone or Android or your smart beat? I don't know what we got out here these days. I don't know.
Girl said smart beat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, I'm a big ChatGPT user. So a lot of times, I'm planning on making like a lot of momentum in 2026 with my business. So I've been doing a lot of like research and organizing there.
Right.
That's what I do a lot of. And music. Right, so I'm a music person.
In fact, so I'm gonna tell you right now that Chat GPT. I won't divulge the conversation, but just I just want to let you know there are people out there who are using Chat GPT to put out fugazi resumes, and they may get put into positions where the shit is just not for them. I just want you guys to be aware. I just want you to be aware. The AI is dope. I will say,
I will find you.
I will say we will find you at the end of the day. And I'll say for me, I'll say real quick. Me being a musician and producer, and I Google myself to make sure I have the proper stuff out there. So I looked up my musician name. I want to see what AI said. And as I'm reading the definition of my AI Wikipedia, I was fucking impressed. I'm like, who are y'all talking about? I know I'm good, but the nigga y'all describing this goddamn Grammy worthy at this point. So I'll just say it's the tool is great. I'll say and be all fair and say the AI tool.
It's as great as a user.
It is. Thank you. It is fantastic. All three of us have used it. I know Master Earl is using it now. The Storyteller has used it.
I use it every day.
I used it recently with a project that we did, and for the first time ever, even though Dave tells me, man, don't even pay attention to the comments and shit. Me and my guy Kaleo, we dropped a project, and then we used the cover. We used AI tool, and when we did it and we dropped the vinyl company that we did it, they, of course, they're pretty big. So they kind of like retweeted what we did. And so it got more following. And the amount of people that commented on the fact that it was AI, it was the first time I actually got involved in the comments. And I had to be petty. It was one of those things. And then that's when you find out. And this goes back into, what we're doing now when you're talking about people who be like the new year, new me and stuff like that. And why I want you guys to keep going. The internet is not a real place. Okay. I had time that day. So I was responded. And this was just something about using a cover art on a music vinyl album. So I can imagine what people get when they decide to post their before and after transitions and the people who comment on it. And I'm like, these raggedy ass, square body ass bitches out here but sometimes, and I'll get your comment on this, Ivory. People take that and be like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and quit because XYZ said this. So, before we end out here, if you have encountered folks who've looked online because you were talking about them wanting to look like XYZ and them getting pushback from folks saying whatever, what has been your counter to that?
You mean about the other person?
Well, them feeding into the social media world and them starting off in a not so desirable place for perceived people. And then they end up quitting the program or whatever the case may be, because they feel like, it's just, they don't have the mental fortitude to put up with the fact that they're going through a transition, I mean, you 300 pounds and you down 120. Your arms may look like the little flying squirrel, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
And see, and this is where I struggle with business wise. I was just talking to Kim about this shit because I remember I had a friend who was a bigger girl, and then I think she had like weight loss surgery, and then she started working out, and then she got really small, right? But now she looked like she was melting. You know what I mean? So then so then I was like, well, now you used to be worried about you being fat, and now you're worried about looking like a melting skinny person. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I was like, people don't usually want to hear me what I got to say, but they agree with it on the low. I'm like, something else has to be returning on investment with this weight loss. It can't just be your aesthetics. If your self-worth is invested in your aesthetics, then therapy, because other than that, I don't know what else to tell you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that problem, your weight loss issue and your weight gain issue is deeper than the aesthetics. For most people it is, right? But people, like, it's easy to fantasize. It's easy to wallow. It's doing the work. That's always the issue. And nowadays, because they make surgery so accessible, you know what I mean? Women out here like, oh, I'm gonna go look good. No, sis, you look worse. You're looking pasty. You're looking like God made you and he was exhausted now. You know what I mean? Like, it don't, you know what I mean? Like, it looked like, you're not here. You're not right here and you ain't right here. So a lot of times I when it comes down to like my clients and things, I'm always like 1,000% an encourager. But when you come to ask me for private, like a real training, I'm going to hit you in your emotional space. Because this is the thing. I don't want to deal with the bullshit. I don't want to meet you and then go through other things. And that gets me in trouble business wise, because people are like, well, you know what I mean? You just get people's money. That's true. But the way it is, the internet's not real, but it's a real place that people go. So if they paid their money and they're constantly bad mouthing you, that ain't necessarily bringing money indoors. So for me, I'll go to a client privately and I'll say, listen, this is what I'm feeling. Is that true? If you don't want to do with me on a real level, go find another trainer. Just because I'm just a little bit too energetically sensitive, where I'm like, some money ain't good money for me. You know what I'm saying? Right. What's the value of my time and energy to do this with you? Again, it does not necessarily make me the number one people go to, but I don't know. I think it's interesting and it's something I'm still learning, because I see women where they'll buy a program from one of the girls that got, small waist, big legs, all that. You know what I'm saying? Never looking at themselves, not ever. Just looking at this girl and thinking they can get there, and they'll give their money away and then be dissatisfied. So I don't know, because I'm a woman or a person that went through all these things to get where I'm at. I can look at my body and I'm like, we rocking. I might say, all right, I got to slim down, but I just have a different mindset. I just try to give that. It doesn't always work.
Before people,
is that what you're saying? No packs. No packs for me. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that.
Go ahead, Earl. Go ahead. I know what time it is. That's fine. I'm like, it's good.
I think before people go on a weight loss journey and really, I think it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the first thing you need to do is you really need to sit back and say to yourself, like, do you have self-worth? Do you love yourself? Because so many people get caught up in the aesthetics and what other people got. And it's like, your body ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't, it's okay for somebody to keep it a bean with you to say, it's like, yo, I don't care how much weight you look like you lose, you're not gonna look like that. He ain't make you like that. This is your shape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you gotta have that reality. So why don't you be the best that you can be? You know what I'm saying? Be the healthiest that you can be for your body frame, for your body type. And more importantly, like, be happy and love what you are.
But you know what comes down to? People, it's uncomfortable to deal with yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Period. In order to really do the work of anything you want to do, you have to deal with yourself. Absolutely. Most people do not want to deal with themselves. They like to be externally regulated. That's
I love it.
That's what people do. So
Yeah,
they'll rather look at the girl who they'll never look like and fantasize that versus just looking in the mirror and being like, all right, this is me.
Let's close her out with this guy. Let me close her out with a 1 minute quick fire round. All right.
Yep, go ahead. What you got?
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Weights or cardio?
Cardio.
Scripture or motivational quote?
Scripture.
Podcast or music during the workout? We already know.
Podcast.
Oh, music.
Oh, man.
All right. Watching weekly or binger?
Binger.
What's the last thing you binged?
I don't even want to tell you.
What's the last thing you binged?
This is so bad. I do not want to say this online.
Come on.
It's fine. It ain't Pornhub. It's so you fine. You good?
Hey. We don't know. Don't be editing.
It was actually Friends.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
She didn't say like real sex 12.
I mean, everybody who watch Girlfriends are gonna hate you, but it's fine. Go ahead, keep going.
Living single.
Yeah, there you go. Living single. Then my bad. There you go.
And then we'll close out with this. One word to describe Ivori in 2026.
Move.
Get moving. She did the Michelle Obama. Get moving.
So much.
Yep. Yo, it's the Hot Thing Podcast, man, with your boy Sean Xavier and the Storyteller Earl. Our special guest, Ivori Marie, man. We will see you guys hopefully next week. Yo, it's the Hot Thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The hot seat.